Welcome to Prove It.
I'm Megan O'Connor.
And I'm Mary Cummings.
This is the podcast for people who know that they were meant for more, but just don't know how to achieve it.
Every week, we bring you real conversations, proven strategies, and that kick in the ass you didn't know you needed to become the person you really want to be.
So I want you to think about yesterday, and I always plan out my weeks on Sunday and try to do your 20%, right? And what is the 20% that's going to help you move the needle in your business a little bit week by week, day by day? And some days we fail. Yesterday, I definitely failed at that. But that 20% is what helps growth. And the more we do it and the more we focus on it, because I think you can get stuck in the busy work and that 80%. And I'm like, oh, I had the busiest day today and I did all these emails and I went on appointments, and you think that you're moving the needle, but your business isn't growing because you're not focusing on that 20%. So it's just the reflection back day to day, week to week, when you sit down and say, well, how come now I'm slow?
Right. And it's about going in circles and over preparing and creating extra long to-do lists and checking things off because it feels productive. But if you're checking things off of a list that aren't actually creating progress, you're just going to keep going in that circle. And the example that I'm going to talk about, I feel like shows this so clearly. So I've been into working out recently, and it's something that I've been trying to be more consistent about for a while now. And I found myself replanning my workout a bunch of times, ordering a new set of sneakers, ordering new workout clothes, like time blocking, going to the gym at different times of the day. I had 3 gym memberships at one point. And it's not to say that those things didn't help me get to the spot where I am today of being consistent in working out every week, but that doesn't help you get more fit. Replanning your workout, getting these different outfits, joining all these different gyms, that doesn't actually do anything. So it's like, until you actually get into the gym and start doing those workouts, you're not going to see any progress. And I feel like it's the same, and it can be applied into business or in any facet of life. Of you can prepare, you can learn, you can listen to podcasts, read ebooks, go to training classes, respond to emails, refix your Canva template 10 times. But unless you're actually, depending on your business, unless you're actually in front of people and generating leads and selling your product, whatever it is, you're not going to see growth in your business because you're stuck in that 80%.
I remember when I first got into the business, I would sit down at my computer and I would have the list of people that I knew that I wanted to call. And before I called them, I looked up where do they live now? When's the last time they moved? And I did so much research. And I did everything but actually pick up the phone and call.
Yeah.
Because that's the fear. The fear is the phone call. And I was cold calling at that point. I was new. This is what I thought I had to do.
Right.
And I was researching the hell out of these people. And when's the last time they moved? And what's it look like? And stalling until I got to go. I can't.
Yep.
And it's just, so anytime I'm mentoring a new agent, and you're trying to, and they say, well, and they're making excuses just like I made excuses when I first got it. I'm like, put everything away. Pick up the phone. The only thing that you need in your business to lead gen is your phone, or go into a coffee shop, or play pickleball, and however you want to generate money in the way that is, I always say, make money in the way that feels more authentic to who you are, because you're going to do it more consistently than if it brings you pain. And that was always a 20%. So if playing pickleball and being purposeful about going to play pickleball in your conversations, relating it to real estate and having some events around pickleball to talk about real estate. You can't just go and not talk about real estate if that's going to be one of your tiers. But you have to have that as part of your 20% in lead genning, right. And making the excuses because it can be hard. And if it doesn't come natural to you, then it's going to be painful. Figure out a way not to bring that 20% into pain to help grow your business. Because if you don't, you're going to get into that 80% of feeling like you're going just to feel busy and getting done to your end of the day. I was so busy today. I'm like, were you really though?
Yeah, how many people did you actually talk to? Or did you just sit in your office and mess around on Canva? Because that's not what's going to create 20% of your or create 80% of your results in your business. So this is actually called the Pareto Principle, and people call it all different things. 80-20 rule, Pareto Principle, and there's a bunch of different ways that you can think about it. But the way that the principle is actually created is 80% or 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your business. I also like to think about it of like 20% of what you do during your day is the most important, and 80% is all the extra busy work. So however you want to frame it or think about it, it's all saying the same thing at the end of the day. But in order to get in your 20% or focus on the 20% of your business that's going to lead to 80% of your results, you need to first identify what is your 20% and what is your 80%. And you can do this in life, you can do this in business, depending what your business is, whether that's doing an audit of your calendar and looking at like, okay, you have to track these things. What did I do in the last week, last month, last 3 months that actually generated results? Keep it on a spreadsheet. Like, where did this lead come from? How did I get this? And then repeat those actions day over day, and it will create growth. But that's the most important part, is to first identify like, okay, what is my 20%? Like in real estate, it's having conversations, lead genning, negotiating contracts, and going on appointments. Those are the only things that are going to get you business.
But that's sales in general, right?
Yeah.
So 20% of any type of sales job is creating that business. And every single day needs to be allocated to your 20% to have continuous growth. I remember years ago, I had an accountability partner. And I had an amazing day. The best day I ever had. I had awesome closings. I had great appointments, and I didn't do my 20% that day. And my accountability partner at that time, I got done talking about my highs. And he's like, well, what was your 20%? I didn't make my calls, but I did all of these things, and I closed this. And he's like, your whole day was a fail because you didn't move your business. And I was just like,
yeah,
come on, bro.
Where's your next month coming from? Right.
Give me some grace here. But it's true. Is you cannot continue to grow on the path if you want to be a high level producer in whatever business that you are in sales. If whether it's a hair salon or whether it's you do
car sales,
whatever it is,
pest control,
you have to have it for your growth.
Yeah.
And being in it long term, the point is to leverage out and starting to leverage out the 80% to concentrate more on that 20% more and more as you can, so the growth can then get bigger. But obviously the 80% needs to be done too.
Yeah, the 80% matters. It's the back end of your business. It's the system. How is this system operating? You're the conductor of the train, but all the other systems on the train still need to run. The wheels still need to be turning. The engine still needs to be on. And that's because if you don't have that, all of this lead gen that you're doing is just going to drop.
Fall. Yeah.
Exactly.
There has to be a balance between obviously the 80% and the 20%. If you're making 40% of your business and you're not focusing on this, then your business is obviously not going to balance and you're going to fall flat too. So that's why it's 20% for a reason.
Yeah, and we've talked about this on the show before about delegating and letting go of control, because if you are in a sales position, it's easy to think that you need to do 100% of everything. You need to answer all the emails, have your SOPs, create your systems, do all the marketing for your business. It's very easy to get caught up in that, but it all goes back to delegating off those 80% of tasks that aren't moving the needle forward. Because if you're in a sales position, you're likely a type of person that does best in the actual sales aspect of it. So that's where you should be focusing your time. And there's somebody that's probably better fit to be doing your 80%, to be doing the admin work, creating the spreadsheets, tracking everything, helping you with follow-up systems, all of those things. So delegating those tasks off is only going to help you grow in the long run. But it comes back to, one, identifying what actually drives the results. What is your 20%? And then after that, you have to identify, okay, this is my 20%. What's the 80% that feels like is moving the needle forward, but it's not actually? And putting those in two separate lists, 20%, 80%, because the 80% will feel productive. But at the end of the day, you need to identify, like, this is not actually productive.
It's busy work.
It's busy work. And when you check off all of your to-do items on the list, at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, I accomplished so much today. But
I did my marketing. I did this.
Yeah.
I went on an appointment. I got a listing. Like,
right.
That's not, if you got the listing, that's great. That's said and done. What's the next appointment?
Exactly. Yeah. So figuring out, like, what is the fake productivity, because you can spend 8 hours doing the 80%, or you can spend 2 hours doing the 20%, and the 2 hours spent doing the most important tasks should make you feel more accomplished than spending 8 hours on the 80% of tasks, because the 2 hours are actually moving the needle. And when you do eliminate and reduce that 80%, think about how much more you could move the needle forward if you had 8 hours of your 20% instead of 8 hours of your busy work.
And having other people focus on your 80% instead of you.
Exactly.
Another limiting belief that I used to have is, and especially when it comes to sales, is calling, right? Cold calls. I'm fresh in the business. I just need to pick up my phone and call random people. 20% doesn't have to be that way. And when I mentor newer agents, I really try and emphasize into what brings you, like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Because you're obviously in sales for a reason, or you're here to consult because you like people, right?
Right. Yeah.
You're in the business of relationships and people. So what are you into? Do you like to go to the gym? Do you like to, like I said, pickleball before? Do you like to play pickleball? Do you network? Do you go to coffee shops? Whatever it is, it's like, it doesn't have to be sitting down at your desk and just calling your center of influence or whatever it is. Like, be out in the world, but be very specific about what your 20% is. And when I figured out my strengths that come more naturally to me in my 20%, it's really where I grew my business the most, because I enjoy people, but I didn't enjoy cold calling. And I felt like when I got in the business, that's what I had to do, because that's what I was trained to do.
Yeah.
But when I'm like, I can go to an event and just be more purposeful about my conversations. And I can go and play pickleball for 2 hours, and I can just, again, be more intentional about, everybody's interested in real estate, and just letting people know that, hey, I sell real estate in Saratoga Springs, and then people just open up.
Yeah.
Or,
they're like, what's going on with the market?
Yeah. Like, what's happening? And it's just, everything just evolves in its natural sense. Once you bring up the word real estate, you just have to be intentional about your conversations and making people aware of what you do and having it not be such a secret. Yeah. So diving into your 20% and how that lead generation works for you and being out in the world, do things that bring you natural energy. And it's all going to come in a quicker, faster way than things that bring you pain.
And it's going to be different for everybody. Some
sure.
people may love sitting in
and
their
people
office.
do.
Yeah.
People do. And I am so intrigued by these people that just,
they're like,
there's people in our office that literally just sit in the phone, and I am just, because it's not me.
And it works
will
for
never
them.
be me.
Yeah.
I have never been that person. I've obviously been as successful as I am and not doing that.
Yeah.
But people get energy off of And I can't stop listening to the scripts and the calls, and I'm like, that's so amazing. Like,
Good for them.
Yes, agreed.
Same with door knocking. I feel like it's a very similar. It's like in-person cold calling. It's not for me, but
People
agents
love it.
agents in our office do it, and that's how they're out in the world building relationships. For me, I would rather go sit at a coffee shop and talk to the random stranger.
I'll be in a line at a coffee shop and just strike up a conversation, or say, I'm going to talk to 3 people today.
With the cashier. Yeah. How's your day going?
What's
like,
up?
Open it up.
Yeah.
Don't sit there on your phone with your headphones on and be an antisocial person. Like, literally just talk to people and be nice to people and
see where it goes.
Relationships.
See where it goes. But everybody has their own jam. My point in always saying this is because I was told from the beginning, this is what you have to do. And it's not. There is a world out there full of people, and being in sales is a people-based business. All you have to do is talk to people, and you can do it in any way that you feel most comfortable in doing. And that is your 20% of what's going to drive your business farther and faster.
Everybody has the same 24 hours in the day, and people that are stuck in their 80% feel like they need more time. Well, I need more time to do this. I need more time to do my marketing, answer emails, go on appointments, all of these things, but you don't need more time. You need to be more intentional with your time. And there are tools that you can use to do that. And time blocking, I'll say it. I love time blocking.
It's hard.
It is hard, and it's hard to actually follow it. Like, you have to literally be looking at your calendar and at the clock all day to be like, oh, okay, like this is how much time I allocated for this task, and now I need to move to the next task, or now I need to shift things around if I need more time on this task. It really is difficult to follow, but once it's like delegating. Once you start it, I'm like, give me more of this, because it's really how you get intentional with your time. And especially once you do delegate that 80% off, that's when it's the most important, because now you're in your 20% and you do have extra time in your day, and you have to be intentional about what you're doing in that time. Like you said, even if it's going to be going to the gym, be intentional about it. Like, if that's your lead gen, have a conversation about real estate in the sauna at the gym. It's seriously, I mean, some of our coworkers have gotten leads in the sauna.
Absolutely.
So, you just need to be focused and intentional, and, it's going to naturally drive results when you're focusing on your 20% and doing what makes you happy. You're going to enjoy it so much more.
Yeah. I do like what you said about the audit and looking back, because doing what I've been doing for the last 15 years, obviously everything goes in waves, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll sit at my desk and, what am I going to do today? Yeah. And then you look back and I'm like, oh, I haven't been working on my 20%. I've been working on this project, or I've been doing something else, but that's not moving the needle, and that's not bringing me in more business, which sometimes if you're intentional about doing that, then you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Right.
But I will look back and be like, okay, well, you got to kick it into gear now.
Time to get going.
You have no one to blame but yourself for not having anything in your pipeline, because you weren't doing the things that you need to do in order to everything to grow and to hit the numbers that you want to hit for 2026. Giddy up. Let's go.
Giddy up, cowgirl. Yeah, so everybody can do this, whether it's in the gym and you've been ordering hundreds of workout outfits, or in your business and you've been answering hundreds of emails instead of picking up the phone and talking to people. Do that audit. Look at your calendar last week, last month, and actually write down everything that you did that was your 20%. And if this is in your business, if it's like, okay, like in the gym, this is what I did, write it down. Circle back to what actually led to results, and then do that again tomorrow. That's your 20%.
This is what Prove It's all about. It's about stop making the excuses, doing the things that you need to do, and making, in this conversation, it's making the 20% figure out what is easier, right? if you find that your 20% is bringing you pain and that's why you're making excuses not to do it, figure out another system.
Yeah.
Because your system is never going to work long term. Your systems need to change.
Yeah. So if you feel like you're working hard and nothing is happening, it's because you're probably working on the wrong things.
It's true.
So
Because you're supposed to be driving to only doing your 20%. And if your 20% is giving you the pain, then you
change it.
You got to figure it. You got to switch that up.
Yeah. Change it, improve it.
The work isn't hard. It's just what most people won't do consistently. If you're ready to master your mindset through small, intentional shifts, keep tuning in. And if you've ever considered how real estate could help evolve your financial future, it's time to have a conversation because you know you were meant for more. Now prove it.